Morning, guys. Good morning. It's Sunday. Get to go through all these NFL games, talk it through. But first, quick recap with baseball because Soto's at bat last night was just, oh man, it was arrogant. It was everything that you hate about the Yankees. And if you didn't see it, he hits a three-run homer to win the game basically in the ninth inning. Fouls off all these balls. He's shaking his head at the pitcher. And then, oh man, just so frustrating because God, I hate the Yankees, but I knew not to bet against them until they get to the World Series. So they're there now. Just got to pray they don't win four games here. Dodgers are going to play the Mets. I got the Dodgers -1.5 for the series, so really need them to win tonight. Figured the series would kind of go 5 or 6. Dodgers are going to do a bullpen game tonight. Mets are going to throw Manaea out there. I'm not betting this game because every time I bet against Manaea, he crushes me. I do think the Dodgers will win the night. Dodgers bullpen's rested, but most likely I'll just bet the Dodgers on the money line. Not going to do all these props because Manaea, yeah, he's burned me all playoffs. So I think the Dodgers will win. The World Series will be Friday. Jags are playing the Patriots in an hour. No bet for me. I don't know what to make of it because I feel like the Patriots is the right play because the Jags can't be favored by 6 points, and Drake May doesn't seem terrible. So that's my analysis. I don't know, but I can't bet these London games. Jaguars have been there for 2 weeks. They get destroyed by Chicago. Who knows? What a weird situation, for the NFL. Like this is the game that we have in Sunday morning. Easy for me to just ignore the game pretty much. It'll be on in the background, but I don't like betting these games anyway. So that about does it for that game. All right, I'm going to go through it. Seahawks Falcons first game. I have to stay away because I cannot keep betting the Seahawks, but I do like them. I guess I'm going down with the ship, but I won't bet on them today. I got all these future bets anyway. It's a weird spot that to me that's only 3 points. The Seahawks do match up pretty well against Atlanta as far as Atlanta has a really hard time getting a pass rush. So I guess they're expecting the game to be high scoring because Seattle hasn't been able to stop anybody. I still believe in McDonald and the foundation of what they have over there, but the numbers are the numbers. They beat three absolutely terrible quarterbacks, and then they've lost three straight. So they've lost, and they haven't played good defense at all. So hopefully they win. I will stay away from the game. It's an early start coming from the West Coast. A lot of things working against the Seahawks and the Falcons. Yeah, Falcons are on a run. They're 4-2. They haven't played great. The numbers don't look great, but they're winning. Yeah, so staying away, but hopefully Seattle wins. Next game's also stay away. Bills Titans. Titans fans did their fans a favorite. The Titans did their fans a favor by announcing that Will Levis isn't the quarterback. So at least Titans fans can watch the game without potentially having a heart attack. But Mason Rudolph, I don't know if this is the move. I think it was Steelers quarterback when they went to Buffalo last year in the playoff game, and that didn't work out. Bills are a gigantic favorite, but the Bills are coming off an emotional Monday night game at New York. 9 points is a lot of points in the NFL. I usually don't like doing that, so I'll stay away. Amari Cooper joins the team. Over-under is only 41, so I guess they're expecting a lot of running and a defensive game. Stay away from me on that one. Should be interesting though to see if the Titans. I would think they would look better with Mason Rudolph. I mean, when he played, his numbers weren't good, but they did beat Miami, so I don't know. Seems like a weird game. I would be nervous about putting Buffalo in spread in like teasers. Would it absolutely shock me if Tennessee won that game? But I I am not betting it, that's for sure. But I don't know. Something seems a little fishy about that game. Bengals Browns. Okay, I'm taking the Browns. I'm buying a half point to make it 6. I'm taking the Browns. I'm taking Nick Chubb in my little write up. I will emphasize that I'm taking Nick Chubb. He's back. I really think the Browns are just going to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. I'm praying that Watson doesn't screw it up for me. 6 points is just too many for this Bengals team going on the road on a short week. I'm still not sold on Cincinnati. Yes, the defense looked better last week against the Giants, albeit, and their offense wasn't great, which will lead me to talking about the Giants here in a few minutes. But I'm not big on the Bengals still. And the rivalry game on the road, it just feels like a tight game here. Got to take Cleveland, got to take the 6 points, got to swallow it. Any other quarterback besides Watson, I'd jump up and down, but it'll be a small bet for me. But I do like the Browns. The Texans Packers was the game that jumped out early in the week that I wanted. I wanted to take the Texans. I still kind of want to take the Texans. If I get closer to game time, maybe I will. But it just doesn't feel like a great spot with the field and the fact they've never been there before into Green Bay. So I certainly won't bet the Packers. I don't like betting. Excuse me. I won't bet against Stroud. Never will do it. He's got all the intangibles that I love. I know I love Lamar, but I really think Stroud might be my second quarterback right now. It's definitely above Allen for me and Burrow. I just really, really, really like Stroud. It's a tough spot going to Green Bay. They don't have their best receiver, Nico Collins. It's a stay away ultimately for me. Feels like an awesome game to watch. But at the same time, when Houston went to Minnesota, Minnesota's defense suffocated them. If Houston got blown out, it wouldn't make me feel any different about them. Houston's going to be right there at the end of the year. I couldn't pull the trigger on it just because if you have to bet your money, I know I'm betting Watson at home. That's part of a contradiction here, but it's still 6 points. Betting the Texans at Green Bay when the Packers are playing well, they don't usually play there. They're not used to the conditions. Going to stay away from it. Colts, Dolphins. Anthony Richardson's back. Still going with the Colts. Still like the Colts. Really just don't like this Dolphins offense at all. And even if the offense gets rolling a little bit and they score and they're coming off the bye week, their defense isn't great. I thought the Patriots were moving the ball down the field last time we saw them. The Colts offense is going to be dynamic. Richardson, I think it's the best thing that can happen for the Colts. And I know I bet them on the preseason, so I'm doubling down here. But yeah, the Colts are getting the best thing that could happen with Richardson having a chip on his shoulder. Because if he doesn't play well, they will put Flacco in. He's going to start today. He's the fourth pick in the draft. They invested in him, blah, blah, blah. But Flacco's won 2 games. So if they need to put Flacco in there, they will. I think that way Richardson plays much more polished. Plus, they're in the dome. Tua's coming back. They said next week. Maybe the Dolphins get it together when he comes back, but they're going to lose this week. I like the Colts. I like a -3. And I'm tempted to do the under for the Dolphins team points, but it just feels like the Colts defense isn't great. So even if the Dolphins do score, I think the Colts will outscore them. So most likely we'll just do the Colts -3. I want to take the Lions here, but ultimately I'm just going to stay away. If I had to bet, I'd take the Lions. They're +1 against Minnesota. But just after further analysis, further thinking about it, it's like why bet against Minnesota right this second? Like I'd rather see them lose instead of me betting on them to lose, frankly, because they're in such a good mood and the offense is just rolling. They get the advantage of not having to play last week. Lions played so well last week, and it just feels like such a square bet to take the Lions, and maybe they win. But something might just be going on with Minnesota. I haven't won any money on the Vikings, and I was saying this to Jack the other day. I'm like not invested one way or the other on the Vikings. I'm going to keep it that way because I just don't have a firm opinion. Part of me thinks they aren't going to make the playoffs. The other part of me is like they're undefeated. Maybe you should just watch the games. So I'm going to watch today. Ravens don't play, so I get a good chance to watch everything all at once. And yeah, just going to stay away from it. Not staying away from the next one, though. That's my favorite game of the day. Yep, taking the Giants, doing it. And I'm taking the under on the Eagles points, 23.5. Yeah, just keep giving me money. I feel like what they're doing, this Eagles offense, it's not good. They have good players individually. They had a different coach, different system, but really tough to play in New York, number one, or Jersey, whatever. Tough to play on that field. And the Giants' defense is fantastic. Burrow escaped for that long run last week, and that was it. The Giants' defense is really, really good. It just feels like a tight game. Both teams under 20 points. Giants are going to take care of the ball. They're going to run the ball. They're going to do short plays. I don't know if they're going to pull it out at the end. I think they will, but I think it's a 1, 2, 3 point game if the Eagles are going to end up winning. The Eagles offense just not good. They're without their left tackle, Mulata. I feel like a broken record. So you've been listening. It's like, yeah, I just don't believe at all in this coaching staff with Philadelphia. So going to continue to fade them, especially when they're favorites. So I got the Giants. Raiders Rams. I want to take the Rams here, but it's now up to 7 points. I think it was like four to start the week. I just whatever. I want to swallow the points in the contest that I do. I'll take the Rams, but I won't bet money on it. Just too many points for a team that's 1-4 ultimately. Not sure if Cooper Cup's playing as I'm recording it. Raiders suck, but the fans, it'll be like a lot of Raider fans anyway. Just a weird game. And trading Devontae Adams might fire up the Raiders offense for a week. I don't know. Just staying away from it feels like a weird game. I had the Rams before the season. Maybe the Rams get going, but I don't know. It feels like they might only win this game by 3 or 4 points. So gonna stay away. Commanders, I cannot believe they're favored by 9.5 points. I mean, that feels like, I mean, wow. If I had said that before the season against anybody, that just, 9.5 points. But it's the Panthers, and the Commanders looked great last week in a loss to the Ravens. But 9.5 points, I don't know if I can actually bet money on that. I got future on the Commanders to win the division. This feels like more of a tease. Whereas with the Bills, I was a little nervous about the tease because they don't score a ton of points relative to the Commanders. That feels like a tighter game. Panthers can't stop anybody. So if you wanted to do a 7 point tease, yeah, because you have to make it 2.5 at this point. 6 point tease isn't great just to be at 3.5. But a lot of points there. Panthers are a dumpster fire, but just still a lot of points. Washington's coming off a lot of emotional games. This feels like a tighter game, could be 3 to 10 points, so I'm going to stay away from it. The Super Bowl rematch. So the Chiefs Niners. It feels like everybody wants to bet the Niners here, just because the revenge factor. The Niners are now playing better. They look good on Thursday night against Seattle. They probably should have won the Super Bowl. They had certainly way a lot of opportunities. I'm glad they didn't, but they had a lot of opportunities. The Chiefs are on the road, but the Chiefs are coming off a bye. All the Chiefs numbers don't feel good. I can't bet this game against the Chiefs. Like, I just can't do that. If you made me, tell you who I think's going to win, it'd probably be the 49ers ultimately, because I do like what I saw from Purdy last week against Seattle. His ability to move inside the pocket, really impressive. Their rookie receivers playing, so the Chiefs don't have film on that. Ultimately, I went with the over in this game because I think both offenses are going to score. This feels like a 27-24 type of game. Over's 47. Maybe it's 31-28. Feels like a lot of big plays. I think the only way to beat the Chiefs defense is big plays down the field. The Saints were trying to do that, and they were a little bit successful on that first drive, and then Carr just kind of threw it up in the air. I think you got to spread them out and make their safeties and linebackers actually playing coverage instead of running the football against them and trying to control the clock. It's a big mistake. I think the Niners are going to score some points. I just don't want to bet against the Chiefs. So if you told me it's a blowout, I do think the Niners will blow them out, but not going to bet against the Chiefs. So going to go with the over on that, over 47. Sunday night game, I said it earlier, I really would like to bet against the Jets this week, but it happens to be the Steelers. I can somehow bet on the Browns, but not the Steelers. Browns haven't really caused me any pain or heartbreak in my life. So I don't have a problem doing that. But the Squealers, no, I cannot do that. I can't even bet the under in the Jets points because that makes me root for them. I just can't. But I cannot root for the Jets. It's just ridiculous what they're doing over there. And I don't think it's going to work out. I'll probably just stay away ultimately. But yeah, I'll have the baseball game on and just, I don't know, close my eyes and watch the game with the Jets. Well, that doesn't make any sense. But I don't want to root for the Steelers. And yeah, I have no idea what to do with that game. It's just an ugly game. Excited to watch it just from entertainment perspective. I guess I hope the Jets pull it out, but yeah, gosh, it really bothers me on a quick little tangent about, just the foundation of a team when it's just so obvious that there's no leadership or no identity of what the team is. That's the beef with the Eagles. Like, they have absolutely no identity. It should be a dominant run offense with Barkley, but instead they have these two receivers they feel like they have to get the ball to, and therefore, and the coach gets in the way. And I just don't like the way they orchestrate their offense. I don't think Hurts is that good. His non-commitment to running the ball and wanting to throw. I just think it works against them. And the Jets, it's the same thing. They should build their identity about running the football and should have an offense like the Packers did when Rodgers won the MVP, which was AJ Dillon, right, and Aaron Jones running the football, and and then Rodgers could be great. But what they're doing with New York, they have two running backs, but they want to throw the ball all the time. They get penalties all the time. They're just so dysfunctional because the offense revolves around Rodgers when it should revolve around the running backs in New York. So, fading the Jets for sure. If you don't mind betting Pittsburgh, it's probably a good bet. They're getting points. Russell Wilson's going to be the quarterback tonight because George Pickens doesn't know how to. I mean, what a joke George Pickens is. He's constantly getting on everybody's nerves, the receiver for the Steelers. And then Tomlin didn't want to announce the quarterback. Pickens is like, yeah, Russell Wilson's the quarterback. Um, anyway, Wilson's quarterback. I kind of like the Steelers tonight. So that is my thoughts on all the games. Good luck to you guys. But yeah, my favorite bets will be under Eagles points again. Like that's just my favorite bet. I can't get away from that. I think the Giants are going to win the game, but regardless, if the Eagles do win, they're not getting the 24. That would be my favorite. I don't absolutely love anything else, so I don't have any gigantic bets for this week. Hopefully, the Dodgers win. Ravens play tomorrow night. Chargers, Cardinals also tomorrow night. So I'll recap all the games plus preview the Ravens tomorrow. Yeah, so good luck, guys. A lot of great action yesterday with college football, but to be completely honest, I did not get to see all of it. Like, it's just a wild day. So before I start rambling about things, I'll save that for Jack. But if you couldn't tell through the messages, I'm sure he's happy. Well, I'm sorry, J Mart happy with the Georgia outcome. And yeah, what a game for Georgia. So he was dead right about that. Give him credit for it. And we'll see what they have for this afternoon. Good luck to you guys. If you're doing a survivor pool, careful of the Bills. I know I'm just saying be careful. All right. Have a good day.